everybody, here we go, championship weekend, everything's on the line, the cash, the trophy. All right, this week I will run down through the playoff bracket, go over kind of how it all played out for both the championship and the consolation side. I will then go through all four matchups in reverse order, ending with the championship matchup. And then I'll just get to some housekeeping stuff just for next week with there being no more games and go from there. So we'll start off here with our championship bracket. So in our quarterfinals week, we had Ty beat me in the 1 versus 8 game. In the 4 versus 5, we had Dave beat Dallas. In the 3 versus 6, we had Richard beat Tom. Nope, that's Wayne. And in the quarterfinal matchup, we had the 7th seed Evil Buddies Jay and Adam beat 2nd place Tom. So that gave us a semifinal side on the championship bracket of Ty and the Buddies Jay and Adam. And Ty won that by about 40 points with a big week. And in the other semifinal matchup, we had 3rd place versus 4th place. And Dave scored 181 points to beat Richard. That was helped a lot by Mr. Amari Cooper and his 40-some points. So that resulted in our championship matchup. On your screen, you'll show a matchup with 0 points on it. I did take those screenshots before yesterday's game. So in our matchups, we will have those scores. But you can see here that they're not there. So Ty did have some players play yesterday, so we'll see what the score is when we get there. And in our 3rd place game as well, the Buddies had a couple guys for Cleveland playing yesterday, so we'll see how that worked out. So 3rd place, you get $150 back, so not too shabby. I mean, it's not the cash and the big cash in the trophy, but $150 after Christmas is not too bad at all. And in the consolation side, this was the battle to get to 5th place and pick your draft pick. In the first semifinals, we had Tom versus myself. Tom beat me by about 18 points. And in another semifinal matchup, Dallas rebounded with a big score and beat Wayne. So in the 5th place game to pick their draft spot between 2 and 12, is Tom and Dallas. So the winner of that matchup just has to let me know by July the 1st where they want to pick. And that kind of lets everybody else figure out what they want to do for keepers, where they're drafting for sure. I mean, really only moves you 1 spot back, but hey, maybe it changes your strategy a little. So we'll see how that goes. And in the 7th place game for really nothing other than maybe a better draft pick, we have Wayne and myself, and we both had guys playing yesterday, so we'll see how that worked out. So in our first matchup, it would be myself and Wayne in the 7th and 8th place matchup. So you'll see on my screen there, I had Hunt playing, who got me 9 points, touchdown, and then not very much else. And Wayne had Njoku, who had big night of 134 yards, 6 receptions, but lost a fumble. But Cleveland was rolling, so it helped him out there. About 8 points over projection, as about 2 points over projection. He's currently favored by about 21 points. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I have a chance. I was thinking, hey, I'll play Vegas against Indy. Maybe that defense will keep getting points. Hey, maybe they will, but the Jets on my bench put up 22 points with a pick 6. So I wasn't expecting another pick 6 from that team right away, but so that one hurt. And then I was going to try and play this Gibson guy from the Jets. I was going to play as a sneaky play instead of DJ Chark, but I couldn't do it. I didn't want to try it. I was like, they're bad. Cleveland's a good team. I don't know. And then he puts up 112 return yards, 4 receptions, 33 yards, and almost 14 points on my bench. So we'll see if DJ Chark beats him. Maybe he does. Maybe he has a good week like last week. Or if he doesn't, we'll see if it hurt me. On Wayne's side, he had nobody playing yesterday, so his roster so far is pretty much what it is. Let's see. Doesn't have Jonathan Taylor in yet, so I'm assuming he'll switch him in here at some point over Moss. So that'll bump him up by about another 10 points. Whew. So that'll give him a 30-point projected win over me. I heard they have Keenan Allen as questionable, but I was listening to something yesterday and they say he's probably just better to keep him out. I mean, you're not making the playoffs. The guy's perennially hurt. Different things, right? It's not always the same thing. But maybe if maybe just sit him. Why risk his injury, right? But we'll see how that goes. But he's on Wayne's bench anyway, so hey, you never know. I'm not going to call myself as the winner. My team I know is not strong enough. I was over with Richard and Jen last night. We were kind of talking with Richard, couple draft mistakes maybe you make looking back, chances you take, being close to the turn that didn't work out. So yeah, it's the way it goes this year. So I'm going to give this one to Wayne. He's going to get 7th place. I'm going to end up in 8th. So at worst, I have the 5th or 6th draft pick, which is been a while since I've been right in the heart of the middle there. So I'm kind of excited for that. So that's what I think there. The next one is the battle for the 5th place game, which is Dallas versus Tom. Currently, Dallas is projected to win by roughly 16 points. I just checked their bench. Nobody played on their bench either yesterday, so no regrets there. These guys are both good teams. I think their points for this season were roughly close. I didn't have it marked down. I must have threw that out. I had it marked down for last week when I went through things, but yeah. And I wrote down, which I didn't mention in mine, but Dallas played Tom in week 9 and Dallas beat Tom. So that was almost half a season ago. So anything could happen since then. Guys have changed. I mean, we got Najee versus Warren in this game. Both are projected for the same amount of points. So you never know. But I think I'm going to have this one to Dallas. He's going to get 5th place and end up with picking his draft pick. That's my guess. And we'll see what happens. All right. Next match we have here is the 3rd place game for $150. A little bronze trophy in your Yahoo trophy case. I know that's what we all fight for right there, is those Yahoo trophies. But and 3rd place is good, right? Top 3, I'd take that anytime over where I finished. But hey, it's fantasy football, way it goes. I was joking with Richard yesterday. I don't know if you noticed, but I put up my notifications for the pickups and stuff, and I gotten it was 6 yesterday about Richard, different moves he was making, so I was giving him a hard time. And he said he purposely didn't use Flacco as one of his pickups, leaving him for the buddies to pick up. He picked up, I think it was Stroud, Carr. No, I think he had Stroud. Sorry, he picked up Carr and Geno, kind of leaving him as for Flacco. And Flacco, I mean, it wasn't a massive game. I thought the points would be higher, but he ended up with 28 points, which is a decent quarterback game. Definitely a lot more than projected. And Elijah Moore, after that before the injury there, was able to put up 17 points, about 9 points over projection there. I just clicked on the window there. He sustained a brain injury, so he had a concussion. Was sent concussion protocol after he had those kind of been twitching on the sideline. It was a little scary there for a moment. Kind of was reading some X afterwards. And, there were some of those, I don't want to call them Twitter doctors or whatever, but those online doctors that for sports, when they talk about the injuries and say that said a normal involuntary movement afterwards when his hands was twitching. It doesn't mean that it could be worse than it is. It just, sometimes it happens. So hopefully that means he's okay and there was nothing too serious happened to him. But for the rest of the game, who does the Buddies have left? Addison should be okay, maybe. I don't know. Hall's playing now. That could hurt him. What does it say? He says he was limited in practice. Probably just end of the season stuff, keeping these guys fresh so they can lose. I don't know. Henry's playing well. Williams is playing awesome. Kelsey, so-so. White has been fantastic. I have him in another league. Man, that guy's going to be a league winner for some people for sure. Who else on Richard's side? Purdy could have a good game. Should have a good bounce back game against Washington. Slayton's tough. Charbonnet, maybe. Chandler, I think, should rebound. I mean, it's at home. It's not in Green Bay, so that's a plus. Trey McBride should be okay. Hopefully McCaffrey can have a big day. I have him in another league, along with White. So I'm hoping for big days for both of those so I could beat Dave in another league. Looks like, oh, he's got Hollywood Brown has got it deemed out on here. He's being placed on injury reserve. So look like Richard will have to fill somebody in there. So I'm assuming there'll be a few more moves coming today for him to replace that. But based on the game yesterday, looking at these two teams, I'm going to give this one to Jay and Adam. So I'm going to give them the third place. They can split the 150 and, maybe go for drinks. All right. Final matchup here is with Ty and Dave. These two guys faced last time in week 7. Ty won by 2.5 points. So just wanted to mention that it was a close matchup. These guys are projected here on the screen for a close matchup. Dave's got a few more cues on his screen. But usually that's just because they're missing in practice this time of year. And a lot of these guys, as you see, they're on teams that are fighting for playoffs. So obviously they're not going to practice them too hard, keep them fresh for the games. So I'm not taking too much into that. Let's see, was there any bench players yesterday? No. Oh, just Amari Cooper bench, but he was out anyway. So Ty had Garrett Wilson playing yesterday, who put about 9.9 points, a little under projection, and did have Cleveland defense, and they had a decent game. I thought they had more than 2 sacks. When I was watching, maybe that's the only 2 sacks I saw, but I swear I saw a few more. But it ended up with 19.25 points for a defense. So that's a pretty good start. Just a tad under projection overall for yesterday's game, but ended up with 29.15 points. Dave's a little behind, but still ahead in projection. So this is the battle of first place versus the most points of the season, which is kind of what you would expect in your finals, or what you would, overall hope to see in your finals. They're kind of, work hard to get to first place. You work hard, you put up the most points in a season. I'm not saying they're any more deserving than anybody else, just saying based on those kind of metrics, that's kind of what your finals should be, right? Your top 2 guys all year. Not that I would have complained if I was 8th place and made it to the final, but I don't know. That's just kind of the way I look at it. So for both of these guys, they've both been champions before. For Ty, it's been a long time. His first championship was in 2010. His second championship was in 2012. Dave won his first one in 2015, followed that up with a repeat in 2016, so that trophy really never left his house. Then he followed it up a couple years later in 2019 with his 3rd championship. So he's on our trophy the most with 3. He's on 2 of the 3 sides, so he could be the first one on the new side, or Ty can get his first one in 11 years. and add it to the first one on that side. So he wouldn't have one on the back, he'd have 2 on the one side and 1 on the other. So I think Dave's gonna win. That's my call. I don't want that to jinx him or Ty in any way. I'm just saying that's my thought. I think both have good teams, overall players. I mean, they're both in the finals for a reason, right? So, yeah, I'm going with Dave. No other reason than I just think his team will outscore Ty's. So, this is our 17th championship to be awarded, which I think is pretty crazy. This league has been going 17 years. A lot of the same guys from our first year, which has been pretty cool. Jen came on, took over Nevin's team, I believe. Dallas took over Ren's team. Who else? No, Rob. Did Rob take over Nevin's team? Jen took over Wayne's father-in-law's team, or Lewis. Ooh, I don't remember that history. I'd have to go back. I just don't remember it off the top of my head. So, for the most part, I think it's 8 of us have been here for the whole time. We started as a 10-team league a long time ago. Moved up to 12 a couple years later, and here we are. Oh wait, Richard took over a team. Chris's buddy Eric from Canada Life, or Great West Life at the time. Richard took over his team, so I forgot about that. So even Richard's second owner of his franchise kind of deal. So yeah, that's totally forgot. So a lot of changes over the time, but it's been pretty cool. I hope to keep it going, fill up the trophy. At that point, I don't know what you guys want to do. If we just want to call it at that point, or I can talk to the trophy store I take it to. Maybe we could get another band, put it around the bottom or something. I think that'd be kind of cool too. For next week, I will probably wait a couple days just to make sure if the score's close. I don't want to send out money and there'll be a stat correction or something. I don't want anything like that. So what I'll do is I'll wait till Tuesday at the earliest, maybe Wednesday, to get that done. I'll do one of these videos, kind of recap the year. I have the list of players who were kept from last season ready to go. There's a couple people who have players who have been kept twice, so they won't be able to keep them, but I'll go over that in the summer as well. Just as the reminders go, I'll continue to post these videos in our chat, because the chat goes all summer long, because there's all the other different fantasy games. So I don't know if you guys put notifications on or not, but if you do, hey, check them out if you want to. What else was I going to mention? Oh, payouts, right. So first off, on the payout, before we get to payouts, I got to apologize to Sunil. I was under the impression that we only paid out first, second, and third last year, where I was wrong. I did pay out for first place winner. The reason I missed it is when I looked, I didn't look at the amounts for the money, so Sunil just told me to keep it for this year. So I need to send him back his $100 for winning first place of the regular season last year. So that means Ty, on top of wherever you finish, you will get $100 for winning first place. As I mentioned, the third place game is $150. That means the second place winner gets $350. And then the winner gets $600. And out of that $600, I take out, I think it's $25 now for the nameplate to get your name put on it. So I will pay you $575 and the trophy. So Dave or Ty, I will, head to the store as soon as I can next week, maybe. I'll see if they're open. If they are, maybe I'll run out Wednesday. I'm off and I can get the tags in, and then I'll follow up on when I can get the trophy to you guys. Dave, I gotta go head that way, so we can plan it out sometime. Ty, I think you're still east of the city, so am I, so I can always run out and drop that off. if you win, but we can figure out all those details later. So we'll send out the normal email as well, just because I don't know if anybody watches the videos in the league. I do get some views, but there's more views than members in our league, so cool, I'll take it. So yeah, enjoy the weekend, everybody. Have a safe and happy New Year's Eve. I want you all back for next season. And like I said, I'll follow up and send that stuff out. So have a great weekend. Have a great championship weekend, guys. Hopefully, well, one of you will win. I don't want a tie. That would be crazy. If this ends up a tie, that would be insane. But anyway, this video is way longer than I expected to be. It was fun. I've had a great season, everybody. Good luck to everybody this weekend, and we'll talk soon. Bye.